Good afternoon, good evening, students. I hope you're doing good. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're back with another video concerning grammar. Previously, we dealt with the present simple. If you haven't watched the video yet, I highly advise you to do so in order to understand today's lecture properly. Okay? But before I start, as usual, I invite you to like the Facebook page of this channel in order to be notified whenever I post something new, and also subscribe to my channel if it's not already done. That would encourage me to do more and help you out during the period of exams. With that being said, we shall start with the present continuous. The present continuous is also called the present progressive, so you can find it in two names. Okay, so it's either continuous or progressive. And we often use this tense, or we often use the present continuous tense in English. Okay, and you should know that it is very different from the present simple tense, both in structure and also in use. Right, now, how do we make the present continuous tense? The structure of the present continuous tense is made with a subject, like here, plus an auxiliary be, plus the main verb, right? The subject can be anything, either a proper name or any kind of names or personal pronouns, okay? It's quite simple when it comes to the subject. But when it comes to the auxiliary be should be conjugated in present simple, which means be is going to take one of these forms. It's either am or are or is. Okay? After that, we're going to add the main verb. Okay? The main verb is the verb given in the sentence. And this verb, right? This main verb takes the ing form. Okay? We are going to see the examples, right? So to recapitulate real quick, the auxiliary verb be is conjugated in the present simple, which means it's either am, are, or is. And the main verb is invariable in present participle form. So when you add an ing to a verb, it is called the present participle form. What do you mean by invariable? It means it doesn't take an s of the plural. This letter, for instance, plus s, like this, sorry, this, ing, this form does not exist. Okay? This is what we mean by invariable. When you say he is singing, right? We do not say he is singings. So just because we're speaking about singular form with he doesn't mean we have to add an s to the present participle. The present participle is always and forever invariable. Okay? This is the notion of invariable. When it comes to negative sentences, we insert not between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. All right? So we insert, which means we add not between the auxiliary and the main verb, which means we are going to add not here, for instance. Okay? And when it comes to questions, we exchange the subject and the auxiliary be, or the auxiliary verb, which means this one will be here and this one will be here, and you form a question. Okay, let's look at the examples. So let's talk with a positive or a declarative sentence. Okay, so we have the subject I, auxiliary verb am, the main verb is speaking, and the rest of the sentence is to you, right? So I am speaking to you. You are reading this. Okay? Subject, verb be conjugated in the present simple, plus the main verb, plus the rest of the sentence. Okay? As you can see, the main verb we added the ing, okay? The present participle form. This is how we form a positive sentence in the present continuous or the present progressive. All right. Now we go to the negative form. All right. This is quite important. It's the same concept. It's just that we have to add not between the auxiliary here and the main verb here. Right. She is not staying in London. We are not playing football. Okay. Then this is how we form a question. Normally, if it was a declarative or a positive sentence, he will be here, right? But it's not. So we reversed the verb and the subject, or we exchanged the verb and the subject. We get a question. Is he watching TV? Are they waiting for John? Right? So this is how we form sentences in the present continuous. What you need to learn is how to conjugate the auxiliary verb be in the present simple. Okay? So these things have to be learned. Okay? So I am, you are, she is, he is, it is, we are, they are. Right? Now, how do we use the present continuous tense? Okay, so we use the present continuous tense to talk about an action that is happening right now or an action that is going to happen in the near future, right? So the present continuous for action that happens right now or that is happening right now, okay? Let's take an example of an action that is happening exactly now. Okay, I am eating my lunch, right? The action here is happening right now. I'm not eating my lunch tomorrow. I'm not eating my lunch next year. There is only I am eating my lunch. This sentence says that right now, at the moment of speaking, I am eating my lunch, right? Let's take a look at these images so that you'll understand what kind of actions that might happen at the moment of speaking, right? If you say the pages are turning, okay, maybe there is some wind which is turning the pages of a given book. So you say to your friend or to the person who is sitting next to you, maybe you tell them the pages are turning, right? So these pages are turning right now. It doesn't mean they turned before or they will turn tomorrow. Okay, the candle is burning. So when you see a candle or a lit candle, it burns in general. But when you see it and the moment you tell someone or you tell yourself, you'll say the candle is burning, right? The numbers are spinning, right? As you can see, it's a device in which we see numbers spinning, okay? So these are some of the situations where we find the present continuous, okay? Now we have a short exception, which is about some actions that happen around now. It's not right now, it's around now, okay? And this means that the action may not be happening exactly now, but it is happening just before, all right, or it has happened before and just after now, okay? And this action is usually not permanent or habitual, okay? So for instance, if you take John is looking for a new job, okay? We know that John started looking for a new job in the past, right? Maybe John is looking for a new job at the moment we said this sentence, and maybe not. This is why you see the empty place here, right? So we have a chance that the moment we said the sentence of John is looking for a new job, perhaps John might be looking for a new job at the moment we said the sentence, or he might not. But we are certain that John was looking for a new job before saying the sentence, which means in the past. And we are also certain that John will be looking for a new job after saying the sentence, which means the future. Okay, this is the exception. We have other examples if you want. For instance, when you say Muriel is learning to drive, same concept. There is a slight chance that she is learning to drive at the moment of saying the sentence, as there's a slight chance that she is not learning to drive at the moment of saying the sentence. But we're sure that before saying the sentence, she was learning to drive, and we know that after saying the sentence, she will be learning to drive, right? So this is the whole concept of the action happening around now. And of course, I can add another example if you want, which is I am living with my sister until I find an apartment. Okay. Now we have the present continuous for the future. This is the second point that we talked about here, right? This is the second point. So we can use the present continuous tense to talk about the future, right? If we add a future word, of course. So we need to add a future word, and um, this must be known by the one who is speaking and also the one who is receiving. That a future word is, for instance, when you say tomorrow, okay, when you say next year, in June, at Christmas, next decade, next month, right? Later on, something like this, okay? So when you use the present progressive form and then you add one of these words, one of these adverbials of time, you will be expressing the future, okay? And this future is when we have planned to do something before we speak. It's not that I started to speak, then I'm planning to do something. It's I already know that I will do something, then I will speak about it. Okay? So, in other words, we already made a decision and a plan before even speaking. Okay? For instance, if you say, I am taking my exam next month. Okay? Here we are sure that the action did not happen in the past, right? The action did not happen in the present, but there is something specific about the present, which is that we planned, right? The plan of taking my exam next month has been planned in the present time, okay? But the action will happen in the future, okay? Because there is next month. So what you need to know is not because you find next month, next year, it means you will directly write the future, right? Because native speakers, they tend to use the present progressive to talk about the future. This is just to let you know, all right? So this is the concept of present continuous for the future. We have other examples if you want, such as we are eating at Joe's Cafe tonight. Tonight indicates the future. It's not now, it's tonight. We've already booked the table. So it is all understandable from the context, usually, especially if you have a long paragraph or a long sentence. There are some hints that you can take from the sentence itself in order to understand that we are actually speaking about something that will happen in the future and it is not happening right now, right? If you say, for instance, they can play tennis with you tomorrow, they are not working, which means they are not working tomorrow. Okay? When we are, oh, sorry, when are you starting your new job? It means soon in the future. Okay? In these examples, you will understand that a firm plan or program, if you want, exists before speaking. The decision and plan were made before speaking. This is what I said before. Okay? Now, how do we spell the present continuous tense? We make the present continuous tense by adding ing to the base verb. I have already explained what do we mean by the base verb. Normally, it's quite simple. We just add ing, but sometimes we have to change the word a little. There are some exceptions, okay? Perhaps sometimes we double the last letter, or we drop a letter sometimes as well. And we're going to see some of the rules to help you know how to spell the present continuous tense. Okay? So the basic rule is to add the ing, right? It's the same for all the words here. They are quite simple. Okay? Now we shall move to the exceptions. So if the base verb ends in a consonant plus a stressed vowel plus a consonant, we double the last letter. So here, as you can see, it's a consonant plus a stressed vowel and a consonant. When you add the ing, you double the last consonant, stopping with double P and not one. Same thing with run, running, right? Same thing with begin, right? Beginning, right? And you need to know that this exception does not apply when the last syllable of the base verb is not stressed. For instance, if you say open, right, the stressed syllable is with the O. So it's not the E, right? It's not the E. E is not stressed here. So we do not double the consonant. It's only one N and not two, right? And we have another exception. If the base verb ends in IE, we change the IE to a Y. For instance, lie, it becomes lying. We lost the IE, right? It becomes a Y. Same thing with die becomes dying, okay? And for the last exception, if the base verb ends in a vowel plus consonant plus E, what happens is we omit the E. It becomes coming without the E. Mistake. So vowel, consonant, then E. This one goes, becomes mistaken. There is no E. Okay, so this is all about today's lecture concerning the present continuous. If you have any kind of question, feel free to ask them in the comments below. You can also contact me on my personal Facebook page if you want, or any social media link that I leave on the description below. You can also join our group. We're almost going to hit 1,000 members, and then we will be having lives to discuss maybe lectures or just talk amongst ourselves. But yeah, if you want to join, you're mostly welcome. And I'll tell you, see you in the next video. Peace.